Hi everyone. Gonna do a little video today. Really cold today. I don't feel too good. I'm probably just gonna go back to bed for a while. But I wanted to do a video. Hope everybody's doing okay. I feel like I'm getting better. I just have a lot of stuff going on. It's like I don't know, life as I knew it and isn't there anymore, and it can never come back. And my little family is gone. I don't have a little family anymore because terrible things have happened since my son has died. And I just feel very alone, and people have taken crazy directions. And I was trying to get better, but I realized I just have to pick myself out. I think maybe I should get out of here for a few days or try to go out with a friend or something and just to get away from things. But anyway, let me do a little video. I want to talk about some things. About a week before my son died, I remember he came into my room and he told me that he was like, "Geez, Mom," he goes, "it looks like you got dreadlocks." And I said, "Yeah, I know, I'm sorry, it's just from worry." And then not another word was said. And for about literally a couple weeks, if not a month or longer before my son died, I constantly twist my hair all over like this. And then when that piece is done, I'll grab another piece. And then I go all the way around, because I'm just so nervous. I sit in bed and do this. I make a cup of coffee and I smoke a cigarette and I just go like this. And it looked like this all around my head. It was all the way up. And, he was just kind of freaked out when he seen it. I didn't realize how bad it was until he said something. So I've kind of tried not to do that anymore, but I still find myself doing it. I just don't go all over my head anymore. It was just a really bad nervous habit. Also, a couple other things. About a week before my son died, I was in a hallway and I came out of the bedroom. And like I said, there was a lot of walking past each other and never speaking. And it's like I was okay with it. He was okay with it. It's like I wasn't allowed to interrupt whatever was going on with him. And I never gave it another thought. I never thought about it. I never asked God, what happened? What's wrong? I just didn't. It was just part of life. It was very strange looking back on it. If I'd have known then that, he was being prepared for death or something, I could have done something, but God intervened. You can't, there's nothing you can do. He puts you at peace and you just do whatever you're told to do. But about a week before he died, it was after Thanksgiving, I told him, I said, "Well, what do you want to do this Christmas? Because of COVID and everything, and, there's no more little kids around, in the house, and everybody's staying separating, and, everybody's going to do Christmas at their house with their little ones, the grandkids and that in the morning, and, what do you want to do? Me and you, can we do something? You want to maybe go somewhere for the day? Maybe like drive to Navy Pier, even though it's cold, but we could still, enjoy the pier and go to Bubba Gump Shrimp or something, and, stay at a nice hotel, get in a hot tub and go swimming and just get some exercise and walk the pier." He always said, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And then next thing you know, I go to make plans and something stops me all the time. I'm just like controlled and contained in the house. I couldn't go anywhere. Every time I went to pick up the phone to like make a reservation or try to do something, I never followed through with it. And that is so unlike me, because that's just something I've never done. I've always followed through with that. Mini vacations were my thing growing up with the kids, But anyway, about a week before Christmas, then I asked him that, and then I said, "Yeah," I said, "there's maybe the tree in the garage. We won't have a really big Christmas or anything. And maybe we'll get the tree in the house." He goes, "Yeah, Mom, you want the tree in the house? I love the tree. Let's go get the tree." And he ran out that minute, that minute, and grabbed the tree and brought it in and took the sheet off of it and plugged it in. And because I had the blue and lights on there, and then just plugged it in. He goes, "You know what, Mom? I love Christmas. I love Christmas." And I said, "Yeah, I do too, I guess." I don't really understand why he was so elaborate on it, But I just smiled, like, okay, so he's just a kid after a COVID year. He's getting excited about Christmas. Maybe next year is a new year, because we certainly don't want 2021 to be the new 2020. So he's like all excited, brought the tree in, and he said, he repeated it. I couldn't tell you how many times because it was uncountable times where he said, and keep in mind, this is a 19-year-old young man, a 19-year-old boy, and he said this for days. He kept repeating it. I can't wait for Christmas. I can't wait for Christmas. What a glorious day. I mean, who says glorious? A kid, And then he goes, I love Jesus' birthday more than my own. And he kept saying that. He kept saying, I can't wait for Christmas. I can't wait for Jesus' birthday. And I thought, this is so strange, but I never said anything to him. I just thought it was strange because of COVID. We haven't been going to church. We don't, it's not that we lost our faith completely, but we were kind of hermits. And, it came to a point where we weren't praying together anymore. He would say his prayers, I'd say mine. It was very, very strange that he kept saying that. And so that echoes in my head. That's why I still have the tree up. And then also I noticed after he died, I didn't know this before he died, but after he died, there are 2 icicles on the tree, inside the tree, like, that I can remember putting those icicles on the tree last year, but where's the rest of them? There's just 2, and they're still there right now. And I still have the tree up. I turn the lights on at night, but I just thought that was very strange for a 19-year-old boy to elaborate so much about that and say it uncountable times. And I never barked back about anything. I never was like, why do you say that so much? Or I never said anything. I mean, I don't understand me. I don't understand me at all. Why I never said anything. And then another thing too, I kept telling him stuff like, I wish you would talk to me. Your mom's not always going to be here. I'm older than most of the moms your age, I was kind of embarrassed at the high school and stuff when I'd go to his football games and stuff. I was embarrassed a little bit because, here I am, this older lady compared to these millennial mommies, all his friends in his age group. But, at least I know that he was a smarter kid for his age group. He was the smarter one in the group because I raised him, not some younger woman who, was still wanting to do themselves. I gave up my whole life, and I wanted to raise my son, and that's the way it was. And I enjoyed it. I made sure we went on vacations, and he did karate, he did football, he did baseball. I didn't do everything at once because, I don't like to keep him that busy. I want him to pick out things he wanted to do. He played guitar for a while. He just did different things on his own pace. I just never let him sit too still, like as time went by, he wasn't doing nothing. I'd get him involved in something, and, he ended up liking it or not liking it. I just didn't want to be that mom that ran 3 or 4 places a day to drag your son to this karate class and then back to soccer. And then I couldn't do that. I just wanted him to be happy. I don't want to keep him that busy. I want him to find what he wants to do. Another thing too is like, because I kept telling him, I'm not always going to be here. You need to learn some lessons from me. I'm not always going to be here. And, I just remember saying that a lot the last few months before he died. And I think in my mind, I kept thinking that I was going to die because I just felt really weird. And those crying spells and everything that was happening to me, and all that stuff, I kept putting it on me. Like, it's me. I'm going to die, something's going to happen. And I didn't want to tell him that because he had freaked out, And that's probably why he didn't tell me that he was told he was going to die. Because, he didn't want me to say something like, oh, don't talk like that, whatever. Because it was a divine intervention. And I'm positive of that, especially the way things went down. And we'll get into that in another video because that's really interesting. It's undeniable. But the thing is that he, I know in my heart, because I've asked God before, like, why did you take my son? Why not me? I've always told you, don't ever take me. Don't ever take my kids. Take me. Don't take my kids. Take me. And don't ever let me die in front of my kids, or don't let me in a car accident be the cause of the death of my kids. Please guide me and protect me and help me. And then so when he took my son, I questioned it. I mean, I wasn't mad at God because I knew it was just supposed to be. I was never mad at God. But the thing is like, uh, I kept asking God why. And, and I think the only thing that came to me at the time because of all the weird happenings was because I'm going to die. And God knew that my son could not have handled his mother's death. What would he have done in this house without me? How would he have paid the rent and the bills and, being all alone without me? I mean, he just, because they say God only gives you so much you can handle, whatever. And I always said, well, suicide, that's not true. But I always thought I would kill myself if something happened to my kids, but I didn't. And God knew that I could handle it, but my son could not. And since I was going to die, he might as well take him first, and we can meet up in heaven after it's my time, and I can see my dad and everybody. But it's just weird because that's the only thing I can think of is that I'm going to die, and that's why he's going to take him first. And then I actually kept saying that, and I had gotten a death date, and we're going to talk about that in the next video because I got a picture to show you. A picture that popped up on my phone of my son. You're not going to believe it. I'll show it to you, but I can't do, not today. And telling me when I'm going to die. I mean, and how I'm going to die, all the way to the hour, the date, everything. So, kind of been preparing for that. And because sometimes I don't want to believe it, but everything's starting to fall in that way, Anyway, I'll just tell you that my death date that I was given was April 3rd. And we'll go into detail about that later. I was told I was going to die April 3rd, wee hours of the morning, from a massive heart attack. And I'll show you the proof of that, what happened and who told me and how I got that picture and was told that. And I know that I cannot explain this stuff any more than what I'm telling you guys, because you guys probably think I've just really gone crazy. I'm off my rocker, but I don't know. I'm being prepared for. I'm trying to tell you this. I am not lying or exaggerating about anything. So take it as you will, or whatever. I believe what you want. I'm just telling you my story. And then one other thing I want to talk about today was when I was getting those crying spells, I had that terrible crying spell in August, and my daughter told me I should get on antidepressants. I started feeling funny after that, and one night, about a month, this was before Thanksgiving, about a month before my son died, I had this awakening. I was actually awake. I wasn't dreaming. I was sitting up in my bed where I always sit, in that little corner there, and my eyes were open, and I remember looking around the room, and I remember seeing, like on the wall, I could see a story on the wall, and the story was, I was on the ceiling. I wasn't sitting on the bed anymore, but I was. But anyway, I was on the ceiling like this, with my arms spread out, and like this, like that. And I was floating up there. I could feel my back even on the ceiling wall in the corner. And I was looking down, and there was nothing around except for, it was like a little white smoke, like a semi-opaque smoke, but it was positioned. It wasn't moving like smoke would move. It was just like a stable cloud. And I was looking down on myself. Well, I thought it was myself, but I didn't know who it was at the time. But I was looking down, and I seen all these people. They were bright lights, and I seen people working on this body, like working on their heart, trying to get their heart to come back to life. And I was watching this, but I couldn't see the person laying there. And I thought, oh my God, that's so weird. Is that me? Who is that? And I am going to die. I'm going to die. And, and then I just came out of it, and, I wasn't sleeping. It wasn't a dream. And then I just came out of it. Next thing you know, I was just sitting there, and I was going like this around my room, and I couldn't think of anything or figure it out. I got up and had a cup of coffee and lit a cigarette and got my mind on something else. But I told a couple people about that, and they were just like, a little freaked out too, because nobody understands it. So then later, after my son died, I started thinking, you know what? Because first I thought, as soon as my son died, I was like, oh my God, that was my son. I was on the ceiling, floating up there, watching my son die, and they were working on his heart. And I thought, no, wait, that doesn't make sense, because he didn't die from his heart. He had massive brain injury and then blew up in the explosion when the car flipped back over. And I mean, the accident really, it's like cut the part at top of his head off and took his brain out, and then he blew up. But the thing is that, so this person I was watching is working on their heart. And then it finally dawned on me, even though I was told I was going to die from a heart attack, I wasn't looking at myself. God was preparing me for something else, and it didn't even dawn on me until after he died. But I don't know why it wouldn't dawn on me before. But that was me on the table. But it wasn't because of my death. It was because the angels and my light and my guardians and Jesus, God, Mother Mary, everybody, all the angels and saints were there for me to mend my broken heart. Because there was so much love for me and my son. We had so much love between each other. It's incredible. Unlike a lot of normal parents' relationships with their children. I don't know if that, I just had so much extra love because he was the last one to leave the nest. He was my only son. He was young, and I wanted to guide him in the right direction because of the way the world was today. I mean, I was like attached to him at the hip sometimes, you know. I mean, if I was thinking something, he would say it. Or if he was hungry for something, I was already cooking that same thing. We were very attached, as if we were like one soul. It was very weird. And so that was me. I think now looking down on that, that was me mending, and my angels mending my broken heart. And then I got to get through that. And then now I'm getting signs, whatever, that I'm going to die. And I am trying to wrap things up. I wrote down passwords to things in my bank account, and because I don't know what's happening. And that's just how weird I feel. And I'm really cold talking about it. Anyway, this video is getting long. We'll talk some more. I got some things to show you in the next video, pictures and things, and you know, my death date and how it was given to me. And you're not going to believe, you know, because this thing that doesn't exist, you know, but I have it. It just doesn't exist. It's weird. I can't explain it, but I'll explain it in the next video. So please just bear with me, and, you know, maybe just keep asking God for peace and understanding in all of our homes. And I need to get through this because I don't know what's happening to me. And I'm starting to feel okay with it, because then, oh, good, maybe I get to go see my son then, you know, and my dad and everybody, because I have no one left. You know, my best friends were even killed. I just don't, you know, I don't know. So, okay, you guys, I love you all very much, and I'm glad you're here with me. Thank you so much for being with me and listening to my story. And I just wanted you to know, like, I don't put stuff hardly ever. I just recently started putting something a little bit in the description box, but I haven't yet gone down in the, oh, you put those words in there, and when you do a video, I can't even remember the name of it, but it's not the description box, but something down below where you put in words for your video, you know, and so people can find it, whatever word. But I didn't do that because, see, these videos aren't for everybody across YouTube. These videos were just for people that know me, and you know, it's not like an art video or whatever. And I don't care about the views or the money or anything, because it's not that much money anyway. I mean, you're lucky if you get $5 a month from YouTube. But the thing is I didn't want these kind of videos aren't for a whole bunch of strangers. But these are for you guys, you know, the people that want to know things like this. And then, you know, I don't know if I'll ever do art again. I don't know if I'm even going to be here. So we'll talk about that. Okay, here I go again. I'm rambling and going on, and I'm sorry because these videos can get long. I love you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and peace to you and in your hearts and in your homes. And I hope God gives you all the understanding that you need for you and your family, you and your children. And look for signs of depression and know what you could possibly do to step in. All right, guys, we'll talk soon.